Um, I don't think there's a real answer there because anybody can change their mind with a magic trick of charisma, panache, like, showing up and, hey man, let me sell you a new car. Well, you don't really want a car that day, but you bought one. You ever wonder why that is?
The main goal is to have conversations with people about something that's important to them
Yep.
in a way where it's not a debate.
Yeah.
It's more of like we're both on the same team working together to understand your position on something, and to help you reflect on the quality of the reasons that support your confidence in your position. Does that make sense?
Right on.
Okay, cool. And to follow up on your question, I think there's a lot of us are walking around with conclusions that affect our behavior that we're not really sure how we got there and what's supporting it. And I think if we had a better grasp on why we believe things, we can make better decisions that affect the behavior that we have that affect the rest of us.
Cool.
Does that sound good? Okay. Are you from around here?
Kinda. I used to live down the way, but now I live in North Richland Hills. I lived in Little Elm,
Okay.
but now I live in North Richland Hills.
Gotcha. I don't know where those places are.
Little Elm is 380 straight up, turn right, 8 miles.
Okay.
And then Fort Worth is North Richland Hills.
Okay.
But a private area like that.
Gotcha. So I'm on a U.S. tour.
From where?
I live in Olympia, Washington.
Okay.
And I've been on the road for about a year,
Mhm.
stopping in communities like this to have these interviews and to help folks like Leanne come out and do this in their own neighborhoods.
And what does Leanne do?
She reached out to me for me to take her out to help her do these interviews in her own town.
God, how'd you get into interviewing?
So I was having unproductive conversations with people, and I like engaging with my community, but I don't like to argue. So this is kind of a way for me to connect with people in my community, discuss important topics without arguing. So that's what kind of drew me to that.
And where's Olympia near Tacoma? How far away?
It's about 30 miles south,
That's right.
so about 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the
Yeah,
traffic.
Yeah. I just came back from Seattle, so
Okay.
I travel for a
Well, you
living.
know then.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What's your name?
It's Chris,
Chris? Traditional spelling?
CHRIS.
Okay. Cool. My name's David.
All right, David.
It's great to meet you.
Good to meet you.
So we can do this a couple of different ways. You can bring a plain belief, conclusion, assumption that you're convinced is true about our shared world, and I can ask you questions about it, or you can write it down without telling me what it is, and I can still ask you the same types of questions that I would want to ask anyway. And what that helps with, it keeps my bias out of the question.
I want your bias. So first of all, I'm a professional news network guest, so I want to do this for real.
Okay,
No, I'm not kidding you. You can look it up. I have a gazillion followers on YouTube.
cool. Maybe I can add your info into the description of my video so that
If you
people,
want to, sure.
if you want to promote yourself.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to
Okay.
promote you.
Okay, all right, cool.
Serious.
All right, so you want to do it the traditional way where you bring forth a claim and I ask you questions about it. Would that be?
Sure.
Is that
What's
correct?
the claim? We've lost our ability to reason in civil conversation.
Okay, we've lost our ability to reason in civil conversation. Okay.
Reason about civil conversation and civility.
Okay. How about we've
You
lost
shorten it
our
to whatever you want.
we've lost our civility?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, cool.
And even our ability to reason. But yeah.
Okay.
Same thing. I'll work it in.
So, civility and reason, what do you mean by those terms?
So if I were to ask you about politics right now, you would tell me your position, and you might even sell me on her position. And they call it the Dyson vacuum theory. You know what that is, right? If I'm going to spend $550 on a Dyson vacuum, I have to make myself feel better by making you buy one too. I
Gotcha.
don't work for Dyson. I have no interest in it except I need to feel better about my decision. So I need to make you believe my decision.
So it's like an emotional,
It
an
is.
emotional persuasion technique.
We've lost our ability to reason. We can't have a reasonable dialogue about anything.
Okay.
And why is that? Because we become divided as a nation. So I do domestic terrorism. That's all I do for a living. Travel everywhere. Like you can look it up on.
You do domestic terrorism?
Well, I'm an advocate against it. But if you have a phone, type in active shooter expert.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
like for real. Like put the first 30 pages of Google.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So we've lost our ability to reason and have civil conversations. That's kind of the claim that we're talking about, right?
Yeah, and I'm probably going to go down the road of this, but make up something about active shooters. Active shooter, trainer. How about expert? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not me. Yes, me. I wrote the FBI policy last year. Like I just keep going on. So what I do is about gun control, right? I don't believe in it, but I also know that if we don't have both sides of the conversation, we're not going to stop active shooters.
Okay.
But I don't really want to talk about active shooters. I want to talk about the ability to reason and why it's important.
The more meta conversation about it.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
About everything, right?
Perfect.
Like when you tell me what your position is on mental health, I say, oh my God, well, that's stupid. I've lost your ability to reasonably discuss what your position is because you're defending your own position.
Right. Okay.
Something like that.
So, why is this topic important to you?
Because I'm 54 years old and I want to retire, and we're nowhere near that to a safer, better place yet.
Okay. What does your age have to do with it?
Oh, because I've learned so much. After you get 30, 40 years old, you're deep-seated in your beliefs and your opinions, and you've molded into this young person that knows everything. If you ask them, they'll tell you what they know.
Uh-huh.
When you're 50, you're able to step back. You have more years behind you than you do ahead, and you have a different view of life.
You seem like you're open to a challenge.
Sure.
What causes you to be convinced that you use reason?
Because I look at both sides of the issue, and I don't let opinions get in the way of facts.
Okay. What's your definition of a fact?
Historical data, empirical data, reasonable circumstance, vis-a-vis, I just think this person is not a good person, right? What if a person is a good person, but you think they're a bad person because that's what you've been told to think?
Uh-huh.
You've
It's not
lost your
necessarily a
ability to-
fact.
Right, it's your opinion. How do you know what a fact is?
Right. That's kind of what I'm asking.
Sure.
Okay. And so,
Reasonable deduction.
how do you test your reasonability?
You mean my own?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm vacant when it comes to opinions. My opinion about myself is shallow. My opinion about you is probably shallow. My opinion about what you're doing is probably shallow. But you see all the people walking by with an opportunity to change something, but they're so set in their own way they don't want to.
Okay. And how do you know that that's not happening to you?
That's a good question. Because I open myself up as a volunteer a lot of places.
What do you mean by opening yourself up? What is that? What's actually physically happening when you open yourself up?
Well, like this. Here we are. You can ask me anything you want.
Okay.
Talk about anything you want.
Okay.
I'm willing to talk about it. I'm not going to fight with you. I don't have my opinion doesn't matter about I have to defend some position.
Okay.
I'll just talk to you about, well, I think you might be right, or maybe that's not entirely accurate.
You're open to having civil conversations about
Anything.
stuff that you might disagree with someone about.
Mostly, yes.
Okay. Is that the best way to display civility?
Oh, I don't think so. But I don't have the right answer for that. See, I don't know. All I know is it's one way. It's the only way I know how to do it. But that is literally the juxtaposition to civil conversation. You don't know what the other person's going to say.
Yeah.
And they might be so deep-seated in their own predetermined beliefs or biases that no, I don't want to talk to you. I'm stuck. And I call it clinically SOS, right? Stuck on stupid.
Okay. Is there anything that you would not discuss?
No.
Have you always been this way?
Yes. Retired copper.
Okay. What do you suppose causes the way you see the world this way?
A lot of experience.
Experience?
Global experience.
Could someone see the world this way without experience?
If they open themselves up to see both sides of an issue, then yes.
Okay. And when you say open up, you mean be willing to have the conversation.
Well, I think if we remove the ability for polarization, that's a good start, but we can't. And I'm not going to be the one to say I'm going to. You're not going to be the one you say. It's like one interview at a time, one conversation at a time. How do you do that? Well, have the conversation.
Okay. And it sounds like you're saying that that's one way to do this, but it may not be the best way.
Absolutely.
And you don't know what might be the best way.
No, because if I did, I'd have an opinion about it.
Okay. Are there any situations where opinions are valuable?
Absolutely. Because when you construct an opinion, traditionally, it comes from the base of your own facts, knowledge, skills, beliefs, behaviors, lifestyle, family, values, whatever you're brought up with. And you form your opinion that makes your family nexus have an ability to move forward, right? On the way they want to go.
Okay.
Now, when you impose your opinion on me and don't allow my opinion to come back and have an equal persuasion topic on you, that's where civility's gone. We've lost that. I mean, this is a really easy down in the gutter, low blow, but just talk about Trump Biden. Those are the easy. I'm sure people here talked about it today because it's an easy topic.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a libertarian. I care less. They're not real presidents. The person behind them, before them, in front of them, and after them won't be real presidents. The administration is made up of hundreds of people, if not thousands, that form the direction that we're going to go. These people are just a vacant face that have to sell something, and they have some type of charisma
Yeah.
that hits half the country. Well, sadly,
Kind of what we were talking about a little bit ago.
Sadly, we hit
storytelling.
Over half. With we tipped, right? We used to be like 80%. 80% loved Jimmy Carter until he did something, quote unquote, did something. His administration did something. The Iran-Contra or Iran crisis, hostage crisis. Reagan came in and said, "We're going to change it." What would Reagan do? Iran-Contra, and then open the CIA up to sell crack cocaine in California. Now you say, well, that's an opinion, Chris. Actually, it's not. If you look up on YouTube, you'll see the CIA director apologizing to Compton, California for bringing crack cocaine through.
Okay.
That's the difference. My opinion is these are evil people. Okay, maybe not. And you say, well, what have you done? You say, here's a historical archive of what they've done. And when they say, yeah, we did this, now you get to go to your opinion and say, my values, beliefs, and morals say that's not the best.
And it sounds like you're open to being wrong about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Is there anything that you're not open to being wrong about?
Probably about being wrong about that. I mean, serious, like
Okay.
ping pong bat.
Well, what would cause you to change your mind about that?
I don't think there's a real answer there because anybody can change their mind with a magic trick of charisma, pizzazz, like, showing up and, hey man, let me sell you a new car. Well, you don't really want a car that day, but you bought one. You ever wonder why that is? Human energy. When you can define why we have human energy, why some people are, they walk in a room and own the room, or other people sit down here and they're like, cameras are in front of their face, they go vacant. Why? And then it's up to you to pull it out. So depending on your skills as an interviewer, you'll get them to open up and talk.
Yeah.
And make people like me that are
create it like a
goofballs.
safe environment for them to open up.
Right. So what would make me wrong about that? When I sat down and watched somebody do that, then all of a sudden they open up and like, there's hope. Look at that, there's hope.
You sound like you value truth.
Actually seeking reality. Like,
Okay.
truth is subjective. Truth is in the eyes of the beholder.
You think so?
I think so, because, and here's why. I have family on both sides of the aisle. Again, cheap shot, easy, right? Let's go back to
Biden,
Nixon.
Trump.
How about
Okay,
Nixon?
Okay.
Right, back in the day when he did the Watergate break-in, right? Now fast forward to like Hillary Clinton and Benghazi. What's the truth? Well, we had hearings in Capitol Hill and they fed you what the truth is. That's not really the whole story. They didn't interview the first 3 people that got the actual calls from the administration that says go, no go. Withheld.
Is there not a truth about that though?
Yeah, but we'll never know what it is.
Beyond our opinion?
Yes.
Okay. So, because it sounded like you said truth is subjective, meaning it's based on opinions, right?
The truth about what happened in Benghazi?
I'm talking about just...
No, I'm telling you, this is a good example.
Let's like pull out.
Pull it out? Okay.
It sounded like you said truth is subjective, but also sounded like you were saying there is a truth regardless of our opinion. So how do you...
I like that.
How do you square... How do you...
Because we walk around with our known truth, what we believe every day. Either what's fed to us, what is, our core beliefs. Well, I think that's what society calls it, not just me. I think the truth is, how about religion? You go to another easy gutter topic, you believe or you don't. Whatever, it doesn't matter what you believe in, who you believe in, it doesn't matter. And then you have something called apologetics. You ask people that are Christian apologetics, they're going to tell you all the reasons why you're wrong about your quote-unquote truth and why they're right about their truth. But neither one of us were there 2,000 or 4,000 years ago. So how do you know?
And in this case, would you say that there is a truth regardless of what both sides are convinced about?
I think the truth lies maybe somewhere in the middle, but it gets buried because we've lost our ability to rationally discuss the points to get there. Right? You say Biden, Trump, left, right. That's it. Well, I don't want to hear anymore.
Yeah.
This guy's great, this guy's bad, this guy's bad, this guy's great, whatever.
Maybe I can phrase it this way. Are you convinced, and I kind of like the way you put it in reality. Like, do you equate truth with whatever comports to reality?
Okay, that's a good question. Not always, because another thing is, they used to say about reality. Come on, perception is reality, right? Say perception is reality. I perceive this camera to be here. It must be real. Blah 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 blah. Right? Reality is how you perceive it and discuss it with me, and that's how I believe we've lost our civility, because I always don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm fixed on my reality.
Your reality.
On my reality, saying, I want to hear what you have to say because you're telling me this camera's on, right? But here I am. So my reality is what your reality is.
How many realities are there?
I think it's just one.
Okay.
But
So
who's the arbiter of the truth? Is that what your question is? Maybe?
what I'm trying to understand is, it sounds like you're saying on one hand, reality is perception, but on the other hand, there's only one reality.
Okay, so for for who you're going to, perception, for me, should be my reality. But it's not because I question everything. I'm very skeptical. I want to know facts behind the opinions. I want to know how you got to those opinions, why those opinions matter, and why you're trying to enforce those opinions on me.
Yeah. I guess what's confusing me is when you
Please.
say my reality.
Sure. Well, because you're sitting opposite of me. Maybe not you, but whoever.
If there's only one reality, then where does the my reality part come in?
I think you need to look beyond the eyes of the beholder. So there are, okay, that's a good point. I think you have two realities. One is whatever's real, right? The crux of whatever's real.
Okay.
I don't know. I wasn't there 2,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago. Hell, I wasn't in the White House 5 minutes ago. I don't know what happened. I don't know those people. I've never met them before.
But there
Why
is
would I
a
have an
reality
opinion?
about what happened. Would you say that? Regardless of how we feel, and regardless of the information.
There's a reality of what, okay, yes, there's a reality of what happened, but who's going to be the arbiter to tell me what really happened if you didn't see it, weren't there, and it's been skewed so many times and maybe diluted before it was put between my eyes and ears. Yeah, so you asked about age. You know, when I was growing up, there used to be this funny saying, right? Believe nothing of what you hear and half of what you see. Because we used to believe in magic. Not believe in it, but it was sold to us as, you know, making an elephant disappear in a swimming pool, right?
Yeah.
Did it really
Our
happen or not?
perception it's possible for our perception to not align with the reality that we share, is what it kind of sounds like you're saying now.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Right on?
Thanks so much for stopping. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh man, I like that we got me to change my position. Good for you.
It's really coming down. Do you have something in mind?
Take one of those puzzle pieces. The idea is, if you have another conversation with one of us, you can earn another piece and build out the whole set. It's up to you if you want to take one. But that kind of reminds you of the conversation. Like,
I'm not going to forget this conversation. Okay.
All right. Can I debrief?
Sure, yeah. That was...
I learned a lot about him.
Oh, from his partner?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was great. He was pretty abrasive, but not in a necessarily bad way. He was just very direct.
Yes. Yeah.
He wanted to talk about his... he's like active shooter, professional, does like counter-terrorism stuff.
Oh my God! Why did I not talk to him? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, he's like, okay, we've lost the ability to be civil,
Okay.
and reason.
Okay.
But at the same time, it seemed like he was on two wheels about being relativistic.
Oh. Okay.
And so I think his foundation was that there is one reality,
Yeah.
but he kept calling it like my reality, your reality. And so I think we came to a better understanding of what he actually means when he says that.
Yeah.
And it's perception.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it went well. That was fun. Yeah.
Okay.
There were a couple more raindrops that time,
Yeah, I know. I was like waiting. I was like,
I
it's
know.
ready to come out here.
but it'd be nice to review that one when
Yeah.
you get back to your place.
Yeah, I want to listen to him because I learned a lot about him.
Yeah. But it was good.
Good.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Cool. You want
Turn this
to
on.
hang out more? Try to do some more?
Yeah, let's maybe do like 2 more at least.
This is
I would
a
like
good
to
spot.
get to it. Yeah.
You were right about,
Yeah.
having people that wanted to talk here. So I'm glad we were kind of forced to move, but I'm glad we came here.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to, at least get 2 in. Hopefully we can get like something political or something actually like straight down the line religious, like an actual